Hey, what's going on, everyone? I am back for another Slim Sports interview. And as always, I'm your host, Jay Slim. And joining me today is one of the top running backs from the FCS ranks this past season as just a freshman, one of the best, making history for Houston Christian University, their first ever 1,000-yard rusher. Ladies and gentlemen, 5'9" running back, Xai'Shaun Edwards. What's going on, man?
What's going on, bro? Happy to be here.
Hey, excited to have you on, man, after the season that you just had. Absolutely incredible, a history maker for the Huskies program this past year. And you got award after award after award throughout the year for everything that you were doing. And I want fans, viewers that are just now getting to learn the name Xai'Shaun Edwards to get to know the accolades to your name in a quick segment that I like to call Resume Rundown, where I'm going to run down through some of the accolades that you got in just in the past couple of weeks, obviously becoming that history maker for Houston Christian, while also earning first team All-Southland Conference honors, rightfully so, the best running back in that conference. One of the best awards that you can get as a freshman, the Jerry Rice Award. You were named a finalist for that. That award is to be announced here coming up here soon, but obviously not just recognized at the conference level, but on a national scale as well. And you did all of this after redshirting your true freshman year, where you didn't get a chance to really see the field a whole lot. And you got to take that year to learn, to get ready for the college ranks, get your body used to the physicality at this kind of level compared to the high school ranks. Talk to me real quick about how this year you were able to come in and dominate after redshirting that first true year to where you were able to come in, put up 1,000 yards on the ground and all of the other numbers that you did.
First, I want to say all glory be to God because He put me in that position to do that. Man, because going into the season, I was a three. I was behind two other people, and just so happened, they ended up getting hurt. Both of them ended up getting hurt, and I had to rise up, and my opportunity presented itself. I just took advantage of my opportunity. So I'm just glad I was able to be put in the best position to win.
Absolutely. And put up all the different numbers that you did this past season. Obviously, I mentioned the 1,000 yards, 1,019 to be exact, rushing yards for you on the season. You had 194 carries, 12 rushing touchdowns. Your season opener against Arkansas Baptist, 175 rushing yards, four touchdowns. That's the first game of the season, really, your first game really seeing the field, and you're putting up those kind of numbers right away. How would you say that first game of the year really set the tone for you and this Houston Christian team throughout the rest of the season?
I think it set the tone pretty well. I felt like we had something good going on because offensive line, they did their thing, the receivers did their thing blocking, QB did their thing. Just we was all working together in tandem. So that game right there, that set everything up for hopefully was a successful year. It didn't go that way, but we did what we were supposed to do, did the best we could, and and then things happen. So
Hey, well, you alluded to it right there. You guys did have a rough stretch throughout the season. Ended up going 2-10 overall on the year, unfortunately, 1-7 in Southland Conference action, but we're able to hang in there tough and get a few good wins. That Arkansas Baptist win, first game of the season, 69-0, getting that season opening win. Then went off against Northwestern State, had a 20-17 win in Southland Conference action, and even hung tough with a very tough Northern Colorado team. Ended up losing that contest, but it was 26 and 23, 26-23 in overtime. So hanging tough all throughout the game and forcing that OT obviously says something about your guys' squad. And you especially, you had big time performances in so many of these different games. And from the outside looking in, you don't seem like a redshirt freshman. You seem like a veteran senior running back, obviously with the play that you had, but just the mentality of always finding a way to keep going despite the outcomes that is happening during these games. How would you describe that mentality? What's going through your mind throughout the season to keep you going despite having these rough patches as a team?
I would say what's going through my mind is, man, at the end of the day, football is football. Just literally just have fun. Going to practice every single day and being around my people, it was it's like it's unlike anything else because every day was fun. every day, just something happens. It's just fun to be there and be on the field. Because football is just gonna, if you just get on the field, don't think and play, everything's just gonna carry itself with it. Because I'm always, as a running back, I can't think when I'm on the field. I just have to go out there and just do it. When I start thinking, I start playing slow. So if I just go out there and do what I'm just supposed to do, everything else is just gonna follow along. And just at the end of the day, I just gotta have fun. Everyone just has to have fun with what they're doing.
Absolutely. And you definitely had a lot of fun making those big time highlight plays that you had on the year. A whole lot of breakout runs for touchdowns throughout the season. And I want to talk about some of them in a nice little segment that I like to call Make That Play. Pretty self-explanatory. We're going to talk about your highlights, the best of what you did this past year. I have my top three plays on this list that I have right here in front of me from what I saw from the film, from the highlights that I could find. But obviously, I'm just a stats guy. I'm just a fan in the stands. You're the one on the field doing what you do best. So, what would you say was your best play from this past season?
I have to give it up to the Nebraska touchdown. That has to be my best play. That's the one I like the most.
Oh, yeah. And funny enough, that is on my list. And I will get to that in just a second because I'm going to start at number three. And number three, going against Northwestern State, you had a 47-yard rushing touchdown where you ran up the middle, breaking through a couple of tackle attempts right there at the line of scrimmage and drug a pair of defenders into the end zone with you. You didn't go in alone. You basically giving them a piggyback ride going into the end zone. That's the best way I can put it. And obviously, that was a big time score for you there against the Demons. And number two, that first game of the season, Arkansas Baptist, you had a 7-yard touchdown run, short yardage, but man, you had an impact in that. You ended up getting that handoff, ran out left, and just bulldozed the linebacker down and one of your teammates while dragging in another defender into the end zone with you. Just proving to be that power back that can go in there and go past anybody in his way. And number one on my list, that Nebraska one that you just talked about, 45-yard touchdown run going against a Power Four team. You guys are at the FCS level in the Southland Conference. They're at the Power Four level in the Big Ten, one of the best teams, and you ended up going right through their defense, ran out to the right, broke through a big time tackle attempt by one of their defenders, and just went back across the field to the left sideline, went all the way down the sideline for a score. So something like that, that's obviously getting you noticed by these Power Four teams, these FBS level competition that you're going against, to where now you're obviously in the transfer portal, which we're going to touch on here a little bit later. I have a feeling we're going to be hearing Xai'Shaun Edwards' name at somewhere big next year. There's no doubt in my mind. But you have these big time performances. And I talk about the Nebraska game. You had 82 yards and one touchdown in that game. You ended up having 214 rushing yards and two touchdowns against that Northwestern State Demons team, as well as 95 yards and two touchdowns against a very talented East Texas A&M squad as well. How would you say these big time performances were able to impact your season overall? Because obviously, not every single rush you have is going to break away for 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. Sometimes you're only going to get two or three, but you know eventually you're going to be able to break through. How would you say these performances really helped you out throughout the year as a redshirt freshman?
I would say the performances, they helped out. They helped out very well. And the line that got put in front of me also helped me out also. Because, I always say no line, no shine, because running back, you can't do nothing by yourself. It's the five up front. And if you can't trust them, then you're gonna have a bad day and a bad game. So at the end of the day, going through each game, stacking on top of each other, trusting the people up front, it just continues to stack for better games every single week because it all starts with the boys up front.
Yeah, those boys up front definitely took care of you. Obviously, your teammates, your coaching staff, they relied on you a lot. I mentioned you had 12 touchdowns on the season. The rest of your team total, credit to them, they did a great job. There were 11 other touchdowns besides you. So you had over half of your team's touchdowns throughout the 2025 campaign. That is absolutely incredible considering how young and early on into your collegiate career you are right now. Talk to me real quick about taking on that kind of load, taking on that kind of responsibility as a redshirt freshman running back, where again, it's your first year really seeing the field and you're able to go off and be not just one of the main guys, but arguably the main guy for the offense this past season. How would you say that you were able to take on that load, and how did your teammates and coaching staff help you take that load on?
Well, first off, it was that was something I've always done, even going in high school, because my father himself, he's a personal trainer. So he's always trained me to handle heavy loads and always trained me to do the end with what I'm given, no matter what. So whether I have a bad line or good line, whether receivers blocking or not blocking, he always trained me in adversity. So I'm always able to handle heavy things, handle hard things, and always able to do what I'm supposed to do to help the team win and put them in the best position to win. So, and then on top of that, the coaches, they always have my back. They came to me to ask me what plays I liked. They always try to put me in the best position to put the team in the best position to score. Running back coach, he helped me a lot on the field, breaking down defenses and stuff like that to help me understand what's going on. And and once again, the offensive line coach, I'm always around him, getting the inside of the this blocking on what they're doing and things like that. So everything just at the end of the day, everything worked together, which was really beneficial.
Absolutely, man. And it's a big reason why you were the first ever 1,000-yard rusher in Houston Christian program history. This program's been around for a while. I'm not entirely sure when their program first began, but I know that they've been around for quite some time, and you're making history in, and I know I keep talking about this as a redshirt freshman. It's unheard of to be able to do this kind of stuff. So, I mean, credit to you, credit to what you were able to do this past season. But as this guy that obviously went out there and did it yourself, what does it mean to you to know that, hey, my first year on the field, I made history for this program? What does that mean to you?
I think it's pretty big. I try not to look at the big things like that. I kind of just I want to keep my head down and just play football because at the end of the day, I'm just a normal person. I'm the same as everybody else. I'm just able to do some things on the football field. That's all. I'm just a normal guy that plays football. So I try not to think too much about all the accolades and stuff. They just come along with what I'm doing along the road.
Hey, well, you can be as humble as you want. I'm gonna hype you up all day long because it was absolutely amazing this past season. And obviously, you had yourself an incredible year, like I keep saying. And with the way that college football is nowadays, you got to bet on yourself sometimes. You got to be able to put yourself in the best situation so you can continue your career at the highest level possible. And you decided to enter your name into the transfer portal. Talk to me real quick about that portal process so far. How is that going for you? And what are your expectations as far as where you want to go? Like, what are you looking for in this new place to call home for your football career?
The first thing I'm looking for is I want a running back coach that's gonna develop me and end up putting me in the league. That's the biggest thing that I want. Second thing is I want to go somewhere that I'm able to compete for that starting spot. Because I wanna get there and able to get on the field and produce so I can get to the league. And then thirdly, I want a group of big boys up front that's able to handle the D lineman for me to get me to that second level. So that's the three things I'm looking for. Everything else should come and go.
Hey, there you go, man. And that speaks on the type of person that you are. I love how you're hyping up your offensive line. They do not get enough love. They deserve the love that you are giving them. That is for sure. And you actually are going to have a chance to shout them out a little bit more here in this upcoming segment if you want, that I like to call Who's Up Next, where I'm always trying to find new faces to have on the podcast to get your guys' names out there, just like you're doing now. And in this segment, you actually have the opportunity to shout some of your teammates out or maybe other players at other schools that you might know to where I can have them on the podcast and get their names out there just like you're doing right now. So, as I say this, do any names pop up into your mind for this segment to recommend?
I got a few names. Of course, back to the offensive line. My center, Scotty Parker, he is a dog. The whole season, he has been the most reliable guy, no matter what. That dude hardly ever makes mistakes. And when he does, he just shakes it off and goes on to the next play, and he dominates the next play. That dude he is an amazing player. The next player, Nonzo Omezi, big guy, strong guy, and highly athletic for how big he is. That dude, he's a freak on the offensive line. And I love playing behind him because we like best friends. We always hanging around, hanging out, and we always joking around. Another guy, Ben Mahalid, he's the right guard. That dude he's an amazing run blocker and even a even better pass blocker. That me and him always compete in the weight room together to see who's the strongest. Since we've been at HCU, I love that guy. And Mike Ine, he's the right tackle. I love him. He always got my back. We always coming up with celebrations to do in the end zone when we score. So I love that guy. And then I also want to give a shout out to the two running actually three running backs. The first two they they came in. One of them came in from Grambling, and the other one came in from Syracuse. Virgil Wooten and Jordan Montanez. Them two are hands down my best friends and my brothers on the team and off the field. If we're not playing football together, we are hanging out somewhere, going out to eat, or doing something stupid in the room or something like that. We're always together. And them two right there have kept me in high spirits no matter what and kept me on the right path throughout the whole entire season. Without them, I don't know where I would be. Because them two held me together no matter what. And then I have one more guy. He doesn't play for HCU, but he's grown up with me and he's basically the same person I am because he's worked out with me throughout my whole entire life. He plays at William Penn and his name's Adam Hawkins. He's bigger than me. I don't know about stronger than me, but he's most definitely bigger than me, about the same height. But that dude has amazing contact balance and he's a freak of nature. I want him to get as much love as I'm getting because he's one hell of a player, and I want to put him on that pedestal where he deserves to be at, so he can have the same opportunities that I'm getting. So that's all I got for you.
Hey, there you go. Those are some great names for who's up next. I'm definitely going to be taking a look at a lot of them because I know if you're recommending them, there's some dogs to have on the podcast and obviously some great people to get their names out there as well. And obviously now you are looking to continue your collegiate career. We just talked about the portal, obviously, what you're looking for in your next spot. But what are you looking to really improve in your game going into next season to where you can be maybe a more versatile running back option or even more powerful, stronger, faster, whatever it might be? What are you looking to improve in your game most going into the 2026 season?
One thing I really want to improve on is my speed and quickness. For how big I am, I feel like I'm not the fastest person. Because I always tell that when the people come up to me on the team, they're like, "Do you see how fast you're running?" And I always tell them I'm fast enough because I don't feel like I'm at that top speed yet. So speed and quickness is one thing I want to work on, and then probably route running because I want to be involved in like empty sets and a little bit more slot receiver because I have played that in high school and I played a little bit of that my first spring I was here. So that's a few things that I want to work on and improve on.
Hey, definitely can't wait to see what you end up improving on going into next season. If you get any faster than you already are, man, those teams are going to be eating your dust in 2026. I cannot wait to play as you on the college football game going into next year because I'm going to be burning everybody and trucking through anyone at the end zone line. So, congratulations once again on a great season in 2025 and best of luck to you, man, moving forward. Thank you so much for hopping on this podcast and doing this interview with me today, man. Really does mean a lot.
Appreciate you. I thank you for having me, man.